And welcome to the podcast. Welcome to a very late podcast.
There's nothing like being exhausted at the start of the thing. It's like, what can you be by the end of it? Hi, everyone. And we're fucking back. And I'm sorry that we're 2 days late. But sometimes, y'all know, and you know it. And you need, and you have to have it. And let me tell you another thing. And that'll do it for us.
Wow.
I know that was very loud and I apologize. Dude, when traveling across the country on several different planes, arriving and departing at several different times, sometimes when they're supposed to and sometimes when they're yet, is increasingly difficult. And we went to North Carolina for a wedding. Speaking of relationships. And it was a beautiful wedding. My cousin Kelsey got married, and congratulations to her and the whole brand new additions to the family. Shout out Kevin 2 times. A little burp.
Yeah. Burp.
And it was beautiful.
Yes.
Going out there was fine. You got a lot of energy going out.
Yeah.
And then 2 days pass, and you get minimal sleep because wife sleeps diagonally in the bed, no matter how big it is.
Oh.
And then you come back. And when you come back, and you're not really showing empathy towards me. Remember what our therapist said. And you come back, and one plane is late, and then another plane doesn't have a pilot, and I'm not well versed on aeronautic travels.
Okay.
I'm not an aviation boy.
Right.
But I do know that a pilot is such an important, integral part of the flying process. And if the plane doesn't have that, you're just kind of sitting there.
Yes.
Hoping that one shows up until you can get to your destination. Sometimes you get to your destination at 2 o'clock in the morning and still have to wait for a shuttle to bring you to your car. Once you get to your car, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You get to your apartment, and there's a note on the apartment door saying, now's the day we're going to come to your windows. Even though there's been tape on them for months and months, we're going to come do them at 8:30 in the morning. So we go to sleep at 3 o'clock. We wake up at 8:30 in the morning when there are strangers at our house putting in our window. Finally. And then maybe that day you don't feel like podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
But what we do have is an amazing team to help support the podcast. We got Kevin.
Yes.
We got
Lex.
Okay. To bring to our attention your amazing questions.
Yes.
Thanks to the format change, we're no longer scraping the bottom of the barrel to figure out, hey, what do we talk about?
Hey.
Do we talk about the fact that our plane didn't have a pilot for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Or do we help you guys with relationships, all different types, your relationship to your pet, to your Louvier, to your first grade teacher? And we gather your questions, we answer your questions, and it helps. It helps.
It helps.
Welcome to this episode of this.
Welcome.
Zoya?
Yes.
Before we start, I'd like to say that there's a Surrounded show in San Diego, first ever Surrounded show in San Diego on the 30th of this month, right after Thanksgiving break. And you can go ahead and shit out some gravy in the bathroom of the Whistle Stop Bar and Grill, probably in San Diego, and I'll be around there at that time. And then we make our triumphant return back to the Hollywood Improv Lab. Rest in peace, Bud Friedman. One time, shout out Hollywood Improv on December 2nd. 9:45.
Yes.
All those tickets and so much more, especially if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area. MikeFalzone.com to get all those things.
Yes.
I'll tell you another thing.
Yes.
I said stuff like that to give me a couple minutes to remember the other thing that I was going to say.
December
We're going to be in
16th.
Seattle 16th, 17th, and 18th. We
Yes.
just bought our plane tickets, so now we're obligated to go.
Yeah.
Bunch of tickets sold for that. Not sure how many are left. If you want to see me in Seattle, get your ass to the polls.
Get them.
Do you have anything to say before we start the show, Zoe? You look beautiful.
I'm not I'm not as exciting as you are. I've had a headache for a day and a half.
Still.
Yeah. My eyes are tearing. I don't feel great. And I got a full week ahead of me. So.
If you want,
Uh-huh.
first of all, you know I'll do anything
Yes.
to make things better for you.
I know. You're so sweet.
What did I do last night? Loved you nice. Gave you
Yeah.
one of those. This morning, I will continue to love you nice.
Yes.
To take things off your plate. I have questions already written down. Thank you, Lex. Thank you,
Thank
listening
you.
audience,
Thank you.
for giving us questions.
Yes.
I can answer them, and you could just say yeah or no.
Yeah or no? Yeah or no?
Yeah or no.
Yeah or no? I do have, I'm meal prepping right now too. So if I get up and walk away for just a moment, it's me taking my salmon out of the oven.
And you got to do it at the right time, or else you get salmonella. Questions
Yes.
for this week. Number 1. Been struggling with this for a while.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Not me, the
Yes.
person.
Yes.
Anonymous. Also, if you want to
call
submit
him Fred.
questions. What?
Let's call him Fred.
Fred.
Sure.
Boy or girl?
Could be either. I know boys and girls named Fred.
I know boys and girls too. Weird flex. So, if you want to submit questions, you could do so through our Instagram at Welcome to Our Podcast. I've been struggling with this for a while. What makes a relationship romantic aside from doing the horizontal tango? I have a relationship with someone I want to take to the next level, but I don't really like sex and they don't really like physical contact. Everything is going well, but I want to be exclusive. How do I go about this? Zoya, do you have any initial thoughts? Have you ever heard anything like this before in your life?
No.
Same. I had a lot of time to think about it though. Sexless relationship. How do you become exclusive in a sexless relationship?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
That's
that
okay.
for me feels I mean, it's fine. You don't have to have sex in order for it to be romantic, but I guess it all depends on what they find romantic.
Mhm.
As far as,
Some people are stimulated by mind things.
yeah, some people are you
Some
know,
people you gotta buy them shit.
flower petals,
Yeah.
in the bathtub or whatever.
But don't touch them.
Don't, yeah,
Just swim around.
yeah,
Here's what I said. If you want to make your relationship, which does not include physical stuff, exclusive, you might go about it the same way as any other relationship
yeah,
that I've ever heard of. Because for the most part, when you want to make a relationship exclusive, just a traditional relationship, you're not going to say, and we're doing sex now. If you want to be exclusive with someone, sometimes you say, I only want to have sex with you, but that's such a one part of a bigger thing. A lot of relationships, especially going back in time, don't deal with sex at all until they're married.
right.
So how do those two people hook up and decide that you're the one for me and vice versa, knowing that sex wasn't going to come into play until they got married?
Yeah,
How
but
do you ask somebody out then?
I think, though, in those situations, right, the wait until marriage thing, I think that, they still have physical touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're still making face, sure they're doing other things except for
Like what?
heavy petting, all of that stuff.
When you say all of that stuff, what does that mean?
You know what it means, Mike.
Yeah, but I just thought for maybe the audience. Like
The making face.
Mouth stuff?
Mouth stuff,
That.
sure. I mean, maybe. Maybe. I don't know if that's considered penetration.
It is, because into the mouth.
Yeah. I'm not sure what, wait for marriage type people think of that.
I wait
But
for marriage to do mouth stuff.
anyway, like I find it strange that you want to be in a relationship with someone, and this is just me. This is not knocking anybody. This is not me trying to like shame or anything like that.
For sure.
Please don't misunderstand me.
Sometimes Zoya gets new information on the podcast.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, all of these questions, I haven't looked at them. I have no idea what they are. Mike has.
Yeah. Also, finding something strange is not the same as thinking something is wrong.
Right. But like for me, I've always shown affection by wanting to hold your hand or hugging you or kissing you or making love with you or whatever that is, and that's for me, right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand how you're going to have a romantic relationship, because when I think of romance, I think of physical touch.
Yeah.
And, certain acts of, like a romantic
You're
dinner.
an active service person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what I am. You're definitely an active service person. But you bring up a good
you
point.
are too,
Maybe.
for certain things.
I like words of affirmation,
Yes, you
even though
do.
words don't mean shit. Welcome to LA, bitch. That was a little aside. But I want to say that it's interesting. It's like, what is the relationship lacking? You don't want to do a physical thing. And you're in a relationship. What are the barriers between you and being exclusive?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, to be exclusive, if I'm gonna go to you, Zoya, and say I want to be exclusive, which means we don't see other people, what do you say to someone that you don't have a physical relationship with? Like, you don't hang out and have a good time with other people?
yeah, like if it's an emotional or like a mental type of connection, but even still, I feel like emotional. I don't know. I'm stumped. I don't know how to answer this question.
Yeah, some questions are way out of our realm of understanding, but we'll do our best. And
I know, I almost want to call one of my therapist clients.
Well, that's the penultimate answer to any questions you have for us, is that a therapist would do a way better job.
Oh yeah, because
we're
we
a
are
comedian
not.
and a hairdresser.
Yeah.
Just because we have our relationship doesn't mean we understand all of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, since there are things out of the what you would call ordinary for your relationship, I would make sure both of you are, any question in any conversation in any relationship, talking about what the other person needs and wants. Because right now I'm hearing, just by the way this question's teed up, I want to be exclusive. So you then bring that to the other person and you say, are you feeling the same way? Do you want to be exclusive? And then you come up with the answer together. What does that look like? What is special about your relationship that you don't have with other people's relationship?
Right.
So it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Question number 2.
Okay. Excuse me.
Easy with the coughing. Me and my ex are still good friends. We make a bad couple. However, I think that I still have some romantic feelings for him. Okay. When I visit him, what? Hold on. You've got to let me finish.
Okay.
When I visit him versus my other friends, I have these romantic feelings and it stresses me out. Do I work on having him as a valued and loving friend, or let more space grow between us? I know there were a lot of spaces in that question, and it was mainly me trying to read my own handwriting. But do you get it, or do you want me to say it again but faster?
I think I got it.
Okay.
You guys are exes for a reason.
Yeah. It might have been the first thing I wrote.
Yeah. You may think that you have romantic feelings for him because maybe he's keeping you on the hook, or maybe you're keeping yourself on the hook.
Or like simply you have memories of like being romantic with this person. Mm-hmm. So those aren't going to go away just because you decided to be friends.
Right.
But what I'm going to say is that you literally you teed this off by saying we're a bad couple.
Yeah.
And sometimes, obviously, being in a good relationship with anyone, even if you're just new and testing the waters, takes a while. It takes a while to find someone whose pendulum is swinging at the same speed as yours. And it takes a while to match up with someone who, fits into your checklist of things that you do and don't want. And sometimes, because that can take so long, mm-hmm. and you might want it at a different speed than it's coming, mm-hmm. you look around and you say, man, things worked out over there for a little while. And things didn't work out, but they did for a little while.
Right.
And I'm in this like drought, and I really want to be in a relationship that works. And I knew things worked over there for a little while. Mm-hmm. So is there anything in that little while that can be stretched out into a longer while, and then I have what I want? Mm-hmm. This is another situation, just like that first question, where we don't know what the other person wants.
Right.
The other person might write this letter to me and say, will absolutely not be in a relationship with this person.
Right.
I don't know how it ended for you guys, but I do know that it didn't end well.
Yeah.
And you, just like you remember the romantic things that you guys shared, you guys also need to remember the things that warranted you to be like, this is not good.
Yeah, I think if you are ever questioning whether or not you should be with someone after you already know that you make a bad couple, the answer is always going to be no. No, you shouldn't go back to that. If you want to stay friends and maybe you need to put a little bit of distance between yourselves so that maybe you can open yourself up to the option of seeing someone different. Mm-hmm. Like falling into a different type of relationship.
Dude,
because right now you're not allowing yourself to do so because you are still so entangled in your ex, whether you think so or not.
Follow-up question. How long between the breakup and the friendship? How long? How long was there between the breakup and the friendship?
You guys, you need to give us a bit of a backstory No, I'm just kidding.
If you decide that you're a bad couple,
yeah.
and then you were immediately like, fuck it, let's go to the movies tomorrow,
yeah,
that is bad.
Yeah.
You need to not be, like you said,
yeah.
You need to create space enough for something else to come in. Mm-hmm. Even just different thoughts.
Right.
I've been hearing a lot about, I have a buddy named Stacia, and she has this school of thought where she trains women, a lot of comedians and stuff like that, and like transforms their body. And she talks a lot about breaking your cycle of thought and your comfortability and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. A relationship is a comfortable spot until it's not, and you realize that you're not good with that person. Mm-hmm. And then you need to like create space to have different thoughts and to entertain different people coming into your life. This person makes me feel like that. And there needs to be separation. When I used to break up with people, there was complete separation, unfollowed them on shit.
Yeah.
Donezo. And if you let things hang on, you leave less space for the things you need to move forward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
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 Also,
Yeah.
relationships are a two-way street, and talk about what the other person wants. That might help you figure out what you want.
Yeah.
But it sounds like this is me assuming, and we all know what that does, but it sounds like...
Makes an ass out of you and me.
And it does. And this sounds like you getting bored with being single and being like, but we still get along good, and we used to be romantic. So
Yeah, go make face with a bunch of people.
Go make face with someone you
Hold on a
know that
second,
you don't
I'll be
like
right
at
back.
all. What do you mean, hold on a second?
I have to go take out this stuff.
Yeah, but what am I going to do? Stop talking?
Yeah, no, keep talking.
I can never stop talking because I'm Italian. All right, let's see what else I wrote here for that. So what does the other person want? Maybe that'll help you figure out what you want. And that's another way to break your comfortable train of thought. So right now, you're having all of this inner dialogue with yourself. You're saying, I want this and I want that, and we get along, so why can't it work over here, right? But you may know, I just don't know, based on how this question's worded, what the other person is thinking and feeling. So that might help enlighten your decision as well. The other person might not even entertain getting into a romantic relationship again because you've already proven to yourself that is not good.
Yeah, does this person think that you guys make a terrible couple also?
Yeah, why not? And here's another option, different option. Why not just fuck each other until you have a tremendous fallout and don't want to speak to each other until you ruin your friendship?
I don't know that that's a great advice.
It's not great advice, but it is advice.
Yeah.
It's an option.
I mean, I don't think that it's great advice, but that's...
Did you ever have a relationship where it's back and forth forever?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to talk about one. And don't say ours.
No, it wasn't ours.
Thank you.
I had a relationship back and forth for a very long time. I did that twice in my life.
Uh-huh.
Where it was a lot of like back and forth. Once with my high school boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then once right before I met you. And it was not worth... The high school boyfriend, that's a bit different.
Because you're a little kid.
Yeah. And I think that we met at like the wrong time in our lives, you know? Mm-hmm. But we had a lot of fun. He was like my first real boyfriend, and he was a ton of fun. And I met some lifelong friends through him. So
yeah. I know that I had a really good relationship that kind of ended unexpectedly, and I thought that I was going to marry this person at some point. Mm-hmm. And then it ended, and it kind of like shook up my world and how I thought things were going to go in my world. Uh-huh. And then you're with that uncomfortable thought process, you're forced to think about all these kinds of things and possibilities that you didn't even entertain before because you thought everything was set. Mm-hmm. And then months after these like kind of more or less radio silent, if not like very sparse contact breaks, mm-hmm. She was like, I think I made a mistake and I think we should get back together.
Yeah.
And by that point, I had been, I was, and I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but it came as such as a surprise for me that I put this like wall up, and I was like, well, no one's ever going to hurt me like that again. And I thought things were a lock with you. And then it, out of kind of nowhere for me, it was over.
Yeah.
So why would I put myself in a position where it could be over for me and I'd be blindsided by that again?
Right.
Because no one ever wants to be in a position like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Life is like that.
Right.
Life could be over at any second.
Yeah.
Don't think about that, but
Yeah.
that is the truth.
Yeah.
So in relationships and situations you choose to put yourself in
Yeah.
in your life, that is like your control over this thing that you have no control over.
Right.
So you want to be stable in a relationship because life is so unpredictable and you want an anchor.
Yeah.
So if you're in this volatile relationship, don't be in one just because you think you want to be in one.
Right.
Save it for when it's good.
Yeah, I think that was the case for me too. I thought that I wanted to A, be in a relationship, and B, I thought I wanted to be in a relationship with this person. And as the time went on and just being on the hook, that didn't feel good,
Yeah.
you know? And I feel like that was something that I allowed for too long. And then once I finally was done, I completely just detached.
Why do you go back after something ended? Just because it's like
It's comfortable, I guess.
comfortable, you put these blinders on.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, but he was acting like that, or she was acting
Yeah.
like that at that time.
Yeah.
That's not now.
It's never good.
It's not
never
good.
Yeah.
But once you know, it's like you got to listen to the things that have been proven. If I tell you 5 + 5 = 10, you're not going to go back and be like,
well,
technically, that was then.
yeah.
That was in 1992.
Yeah, technically.
Is that still the case?
Right.
I have 5 things over here and 5 things over here. Let me count them up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be counting them up.
Count 'em up.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today.
Yeah.
We hope that we've helped you just a little bit. And obviously, you can join the Patreon if you want, and that helps us out a tremendous amount. Pay the people who help put all the video aspects of this show together. You could also, we're having some new T-shirts and stuff made up, and we won't tell you about that until it's
Blip, bloop.
totally
Boop.
good.
Yep.
But you could also come out to shows.
Yes.
November 19th.
Yes.
I'm at the Hollywood Improv. November 23rd. I'm in Santa Barbara at Figurello Brewing Company with a bunch of good friends, and that's actually free. If you're in there. I know. Sometimes I talk like that. In the Santa Barbara, California area. November 29th. Why don't we do this? That seems like...
That's loud.
It was too fast,
Yeah.
but now it's kind of chill.
Yeah. Okay.
Now it's kind of chill, and I'm saying the shows that I'm going to be at, and I'm doing the comedy, write jokes, and I do some crowd work. Hey, where do you work? That's a stupid hat. So on and so forth. November 30th is the Surrounded at the Whistle Stop Bar in San Diego. It's our first time in San Diego. Come out and say hi. If you missed that one, December 2nd at 7 and 9:45 are the next 2 Surrounded shows in Hollywood at the world-famous Hollywood Improv Lab. December 8th, Dynamic Banter live in the Hollywood Improv Lab.
Oh, word?
December, yes. When are we going to do a Welcome to Our Podcast live, Zoe?
I don't know. Never.
December 16th, 17th, and 18th, I'm at the Rendezvous in Seattle, Washington. Join the Patreon. You get full video episodes early and some extra stuff time and time again. I'm going to be doing some questions and advice videos. There's one I want to write about photography. Somebody asked me really good, how do you do this? It would be good for any kind of freelancer, whatever. And I'm going to record that, so the Patreon will probably get that first. There's a couple other ideas that I have that I'm working on. Our Patreon will probably get that first. And Zoe, do you have anything to add?
No, as you know, patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website where you give us a little bit of your hard-earned cash, and we give our $10 group a shout-out. Cole Rusty. Joe Capricusio. I think I say it wrong every single time.
Have you said it different every time?
I think so.
Joe Capricusio.
It's Capricioso.
Capricioso.
Yeah. Okay. Shannon Haynes. DLD. Patrick Simpson. Ernesto. Raja, Eliseus, Joe Tarzan, Lewis, and Odette.
Shout out 1,000 times.
Yeah. Lauren Chauncey. I don't know why I said it like that. Kuru. Paul Gilliam, Steve Diergo, Chris McCarthy, Trevor the Werefishy, Joe Penn, Happy Birthday Starlight, JJ McToots, Rachel Last Name, Mike Genie, Alan Garcia, Connie Tryon, Isabella Sparkles, and Taro Baez, Frankie Matos Music.
That sounded like the turtles in Mario. It sounded a little like turtles.
In our short years, we come long way. Chris Fernandez, Johnny Rizito, Handcrafted Neckwear, CC, PB&J, Admam, Zoya, you're doing great. Caleb Perkins,
That must feel good.
Giant Tom Hanks. It really does. Thanks, Emily. Lizzie Love, Gavin Welsh, someone tell Aaron, Jackie Hammond, Paige, but negative temperatures. The guy with long hair. Crevember Johnson?
Crevember Johnson? Crevember Johnson? Crevember John?
Happy birthday, Chris, Anna Valles, Benjamin Putz, Beth Bush, Snuggle Pig H, Christina Camille, happy birthday, Lex.
Happy birthday, Lex.
Michael Johnson, Kayla Johnston, Grant Levisior, Chad Clark, Heather Ashley, What is Cat, Katie Taylor, Shane Welsh, Evan Canoe, Joe Band, Milky Beans, Jess Enright, Lillian Carrillo, Magnus Silva, Barrington Lloyd Lovett, Boo Fuchs.
That's a Halloween name left over. We got a leftover Halloween name.
Theodore's Karen Bellis, Janisha Tutton, Danny Sinclair, Jacob D. Bradford, Justine Beebestein, Just Josh, Sergeant Sparty, Ed Birch, Helen Ford, Illumino, Superfloss, Tatiana Clay, Danielle D. Verona, Sean Stone, Valerie York, Dev, Jesse Stillwell, Kitty Lee G, Rob Devereaux, Don Bure,
Oh, long time.
Nestor De Leon the Third, Luis Hernandez, Alexander Legowski, Monique Quistorf, Jamie Gardner, Cody Ostalas, Felicia Shimbari, and Matthew J. Palka. You guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week. Hopefully we won't be late. Bye.
But you never know.